everyone, this is Jack Wu, your host for Success Edge. Today I want to talk about a very critical topic, and this topic is how do you deal with negative people in your company? I think as we building a great company, as we building a great business, we have to go through a lot of numbers. We have to hire people, we have to fire people, we have to involve people, we have to communicate with people, and it is inevitable for you to bump into negative people in your organization. A growing organization usually have conflicts among people. A non-growing organization, a business that does not grow, usually does not have any conflicts. Usually they do not have any negative people because they're all having that perfect harmony because they're still small. But as you grow bigger and bigger, let me tell you straight up, you're gonna bound to have people in your organization that becomes negative and becomes virus. I get paid today handsome amount of money by doing two things. Number one, understand how to handle conflicts, and number two, how to resolve those conflicts, resolve those issues, and provide solutions. That's why I'm getting paid a lot of money, right? So today, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you got to learn how to do that. Today, I want to give you a few pointers how do you deal with negative people in your business. So when you have someone who becomes negative, is usually someone who has tons of time and they have nothing going on, they're not productive, they eventually become negative, and they eventually become a virus if you don't resolve it. The point number one I want to say is that when it happens, do not overreact to a point that you feel that it is something that will kill your business. Do not panic and do not overreact. And I think that first thing about me is that every time when I have situations like that, when I hear somebody who's very negative and eventually become a virus, I stay actually very calm. I want to process the issue, listen to the whole situation. Who is this person? What happened? That's point number one. Then point number two, right? Once you understand the whole situation from the beginning to the middle to the end, then you can proceed. Point number two, I like to make a phone call to that individual, to that negative team member for a face-to-face appointment, preferably. I mean, if you can do it through a phone call, you think that can do the job, that's fine. When I feel somebody who's negative, a face-to-face appointment to me is more effective than just a phone call. And I would absolutely try my very best to set a face-to-face appointment. And once you do that, the next step is when you approach someone, instead of you immediately, blaming them, why are they being so negative? Here's what you need to be doing is that, listen, I recently heard a lot of things about you acting in such a way, you being pretty negative lately, and you've been spreading a lot of rumors, you've been gossiping this individual, that individual. That's just not like you. You know what I mean? That the person that I used to know is not like you, and would like to find out what can I do to help you. So can you tell me what challenges are you facing right now? So point number three is that actually you want to give them an opportunity to explain their side. Why are they being negative? I can tell you from my past 20 years in the team development business, 90% of the issues can be resolved with a face-to-face conversation. Sometimes people get negative because minor stuff, but if you don't handle it, that little bitty negativity can eventually grow to become a very, very, very huge virus that can spread among your company and your organization that can literally affect a lot of your people. And number four is that I am constantly reminding people, why did you join this business in the first place? Is that still important for you? Because I understand through the journey of building your business and being an entrepreneur, there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of distractions. My job as your mentor and friend is to remind you constantly, why did you join this business at its first place? Number five, you as a leader got to study the trend. That individual being negative, is that their first offense? Is it the second offense? Or is something that repeat again and again and again and again? I'm totally okay with somebody who's negative the first time or even the second time. But I am definitely not okay with someone who has a trend of being negative. And that shows one thing: this individual has a very, very negative behaviors versus just a one-time thing or two-time thing. So I like to study trend. You got to study the trend. Point number 6 is recommend solutions. That's what you do as a mentor. That's what you do as a leader. You get paid by leading. You get paid by resolving issues. So usually I like to provide few solutions. Number 1, I tell them, look, you got to change, right? If you continue to be negative, nobody want to be around you. Your people will quit on you. Your clients will not buy from you. Second solution could be tell them to take a break. I know it has been a tough 60 days for you. You got a lot of family issue. You're going through a divorce, and you just got laid off. And I think because of those events have affected you mentally, and that's why maybe you're very negative. All right. You know what? I recommend you to maybe take a break. Maybe 7 days, 2 weeks, a month. When you're mentally ready, the business is always here. I'm always here. Another solution could be, you know what? I think you and our philosophy is different. It's nothing wrong with your philosophy, but my philosophy is different than yours. Why do you work with another group of people? Go work with another office. And if I feel that individual is so negative, sometimes I even say, you know what? Your philosophy does not fit our company's philosophy. Maybe you ought to work for another company. Do not be afraid of losing people. But of course, when you say such things, say it in the most authentic way. Don't say it in a bully way. Number 7, hold them accountable. If that individual say, you know what, you're right, I'm gonna start to make some changes, hold them accountable. Revisit the same person. Don't just say, okay, you changed, that's it. Call them every single week. Say, how you doing? How are we doing with this issue here? Are you feeling better? The last point number 8 is, remember, at the end, we're all human beings. That individual is a human being, whether they're negative or positive, they're human beings. Treat them with sincere care from your heart, because at the end, I feel that heart and love can conquer everything. But be firm with your expectations, okay? Just because you show care and you show love does not mean you cannot be firm and say, look, I expect you to make these changes. I expect you to be positive. And of course, lastly, if nothing changes, if the issue continue to happen without any improvement from that individual, then the last solution, the last resort would be isolate them, leave them alone. So I hope that my few pointers have helped you to understand how to deal with negative people in your company. Remember, negative people, conflicts are not necessarily bad. It's how do you handle it that make a whole lot of differences between a great leader than an average leader. All right? With that being said, I want to see every single one of you at my next episode of Success Edge. Take care.